see my screen about now. Can you see my screen?
Mhm.
Okay, good. All right. So, yeah, I said let's talk about acid rain, right? The concept that you mentioned, okay, quite straightforward. Um, so let's first talk about carbon dioxide. How what are the main ways carbon dioxide gets into the atmosphere? How do we have that gas occurring naturally? How can you remember any of the ways carbon dioxide happens occurs naturally? Can you remember
Um,
what comes?
I think I think so. Is it let me see. Um,
Now let's go straight for the one that we all know. I mean that's very common. You know what comes to mind? How is carbon dioxide produced?
oh, it's
The
carbon
easiest way.
dioxide. Oh, it's produced
Yes.
when carbon burns in plenty of air. Um,
Okay, that's one.
carbon dioxide is formed. This is
What's
it's
another
called
way?
it's called complete combustion, and
Yes, complete combustion. Yeah.
all the carbon reacts as fully as it can with oxygen.
Okay. 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 Now, don't forget that carbon dioxide is also what humans breathe out when after they breathe in oxygen and it's used up in the body and um you know the product of digestion happens and food is broken down and one of the gases that's released back you know through the lungs and then back into the air after the whole process is complete is carbon dioxide, right? We breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. Now, I want you to picture this for a moment. Carbon dioxide comes from the sources that I've mentioned and the ones that you've mentioned. And primarily, the ones that you've mentioned usually occurs from machine, right? Um, Human activities like burning stuff, machines, cars, and things like that. Those things somehow, because fuel is being burned, and that fuel contains carbon, and it's burning in the presence of oxygen, right? You will definitely have carbon dioxide in sufficient quantity. Now, let's see how the acid rain really forms, right? You said there's water vapor. Let's see the concept there. There's water vapor. I don't want to. I wanted to go into the chemical formula, but let's just leave the chemical formula for now. There's water vapor in the air, right? You know,
Hmm.
precipitation as a result of probably evaporation from water sources, and that water vapor combines with CO. Okay, I don't want to write the full, but you know how carbon dioxide is spelled. I wanted to avoid it, but let's see. I slowly still refer to it. That's carbon dioxide. That's the chemical representation of carbon dioxide, CO2, right? So when that happens, water vapor and carbon dioxide react or combine, loosely combine in the atmosphere. We now have you called it acidic rain, right? I think that's a safe way to refer to it as or acid rain. Which of them do you prefer, acidic rain or acid rain?
Acidic rain. I mean, acid rain, acid
Acid
rain.
rain, okay. Okay, so and all this can happen even in the process of rainfall, right? If you have carbon dioxide in the air and as the rain is coming down, before it touches the ground, all this the combination between carbon dioxide and the rain can lead to the acid rain forming. Now, you talked about neutralization. So, what is the primary way we can neutralize acid rain? What's the primary way we can neutralize
Um,
acid rain?
pardon? Um,
You mentioned neutralizing, right? Neutralization. Do you remember?
yeah. Oh, what's the best
Okay,
way
so
to neutralize it? Oh,
yeah.
what's it? It can be neutralized by adding substances such as calcium carbonate, car
Oh,
carbonate,
nice.
carbonate.
Yes, calcium carbonate. Correct. So let's see. So calcium carbonate looks something like that.
Mm,
I want to see if I can. Don't worry about if these things look strange to you. Don't worry about them. But these are the chemical formulas or chemical representations for what you're talking about. Calcium carbonate looks like that. So the reason why we can use calcium carbonate to neutralize acid, the acid rain, is because it's a base. Okay, so I don't know if you guys were told that. Okay, so it's actually a base. So now I'm going to label it here. It's a base, all right. And when a base can dissolve in water, or yeah, it's soluble in water, then it's uh, it's referred to as an alkali, okay, or it's an alkali. I'm telling you
hello?
the name of this.
Oh,
You're going to see this. Okay, you are going to see this much later, maybe in a higher class. That when you combine an acid and a base together, the base neutralizes the acid. Okay, and what does it mean to neutralize something? It changes its form. Okay, so usually acid usually burn, right? Were you guys told
mm-hmm.
about the harmful effects of acid?
Um, can it trigger eczema?
Yes. Okay. So some levels of skin cancer. Well, I don't know. Eczema is a skin disease, so yes, you can refer to it as that. But some levels of skin cancer, right, can be attributed to acid rain. Yes. Also, plants. Plants. It affects plants negatively. Stunted growth in plants. It can affect plants. Okay. It can lead to stunted growth or in plants. So that's because plants are usually exposed to the atmosphere. So when acid rain hits them, it affects their growth because they're not supposed to be taking in acid. They're supposed to be taking in pure, something that's pure, not acidic, acidic, or something that's acidic per se. So that's the whole idea. Now the question is this: do you think it's really feasible, right, to have enough of calcium carbonate to neutralize? I want you to imagine this, okay? Let's be quite realistic. I know it's fine to talk about it in theory, but let's look at it practically. Is it possible to have enough of calcium carbonate to be able to neutralize all of the acid rain you could ever get in the region? Let's not even talk about the world. Do you think it's feasible? Do you think it's possible?
Um, mm, uh,
In reality, if we're ever going to make that a possibility, I promise you it's going to be expensive. Okay, but it's a good thing to know that it's possible to neutralize acid rain using a base. It's good to know. It's good to know. It's something that's good to know. But I just wanted you to equally look at it possibility of that and the commercial impact that um you know I mean just I wanted to just imagine going to go and put out enough calcium carbonate to neutralize rain. Remember, rain can fall for days sometimes. Okay, so that just imagine that. I mean, would you be able to really neutralize those things? But yeah, we can try. I guess we may not be able to do it perfectly, but yes, we can try. But it's a good thing to know. Okay, so apart from skin cancer and stunted plants, were there any other effects of acid rain, negative effects of acid rain on either human activities or plants or even just things, any
Can it?
other thing you yes.
Oh, can it also harm animals?
Okay, yes. In terms of, well, I mean, anything that can happen to humans can happen to mammals, to animals. So that it could also affect their skin. And of course, it will not be safe for them to be drinking acid rain. So yes, it could hurt them in a
Mm.
way. But then one more thing that we can talk about is the fact that acid rain also corrodes. There's something called corrosion. Well, yeah. So yes, normally rain can make iron rust. Okay, but then
Mm.
there's another level of corrosion that can happen when acid, you know, now reacts with a metal. Okay, so that's well, we just use corrosion to as a term to capture all that. So yes, those are the
Mm.
negative effects, and those are some of the things that make us, you know, really go for ways that we can use to avoid acid rain as much as possible. Now let me ask you a question, right? Think about it. Since acid rain is formed by rain or water vapor, somehow coming down, the rain
Mm.
coming down, and then the carbon dioxide in the air, right? And somehow they combine before they hit the ground, right? Don't you think if we can reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, somehow we'll be able to achieve
Yes,
lower
I
levels of
think
acid?
I think
Yeah,
we can because
yeah,
um now catalytic converters on vehicles remove
yeah,
nitrogen oxide and
yeah.
only low sulfur fuel is burned in engines and also
Hmm.
in like steam factories.
Okay.
Utilization reactions can be used to
Mhm.
remove acidic gases from chimney smoke.
Okay, okay, that's good. Okay, so the solution you just talked about now would be for industries, right? And for vehicles, right?
Mm-hmm.
To have catalytic converters, like you said. Okay, and then neutralizers for the industries. Okay, so what other way naturally do you think we can get rid of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere? What other natural ways do you think we can achieve that? So now we're
So,
talking about solution to the problem. Okay, so
so
now
me,
look at, yeah, go
mm,
ahead. I'm listening.
so me personally, not like just naturally, I think what we could do to get rid of it is
Yeah,
um instead of what's it called? Still using cars that use fuel like oil, and we could switch to electric vehicles in some countries, as like it's happening slowly, like here in the
yeah,
UK, and it slowly
okay,
helps the environment as now like uh, what's it called, acid rain is
yes,
now more rare to occur here in the UK as more cars are switching to electric instead of
okay,
oil.
yes, yes, fossil fuel. That's what you called oil. Okay, that's good. Okay, yes, I like that. I like that idea. So let's capture the ideas we have now. First solution we said for fossil, for gasoline, well, fossil fuels covers gasoline, or petrol as we call it. I don't know how you guys refer to it over there in the UK, but let's just call it gasoline or petrol, right? Okay, petrol engines should have petrol engines uh, should um,
I also think like it should be mandatory for people with older vehicles to at
yes,
least go and install catalytic converters, or but so that for
yeah.
example if they don't
So you think
they
if
could
it were a law, right? Yes,
yeah like
if it
make
were
as if
like
it
a
was a
law,
law.
okay, all right, okay, that sounds nice. Okay, now that's going to be that's going to be a good one. Taking it pretty far to make sure that um people comply. Okay, so yeah, a legal perspective. Okay, so gasoline engines should have catalytic converters. Industry should have. I'm just trying to make sure that we have the ideas that you mentioned. Should have. You call them neutralizers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that would uh um neutralize the acidic gases. Okay, uh uh being emitted uh being emitted by them. Okay, okay, and then what other solution did we prefer now? Um um
Oh, another thing was
yeah.
um the steam stack companies. Um,
So yes, you said electric vehicles, right?
yeah,
So we should have mass what they call that word? What's that word? I'm looking for
mass
the word now.
mass change, mass conversion.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got the word now. Mass adoption. Okay. Uh by countries of EVs. Okay, let's just give them the short name EVs or electric vehicles, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, so this would and we said, remember, all these are in a bid to do what? Rid the air of
Mm.
CO2. Okay, so yes, so still along these lines, is there any other idea that comes to you as
Um,
a
no,
solution
but
to the
like just like one question, yeah, but like would switching to electric cars, like I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but like would switching to electric cars, like would it would it affect the country's GDP as what's it now? Um, some um junks, no. Not only that, some sites aren't gonna have to pay anymore to to collect junk cars, so they won't be
oh,
receiving any income. So would that have to shut them down?
yes,
Because that
yes.
because they're working for the country's money.
Hmm. So that's another perspective, and it's going to be, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why most countries haven't fully adopted it. Well, speaking for a place like Nigeria, for instance, right? There's a big market for you know, fairly used vehicles. Um, Now, yes, those kind of people, of course, they will lose market. That's one. But secondly, I think another issue that we'll have is even steady electricity sometimes could be a challenge, you know. I hear even in places like in the US, right? Um, Charging points are not even so common per se, but yes, they still, I mean, there's still a wide adoption of electric vehicles in the US. Not as if everybody's using it, but yeah, it's there. But I mean, I just want you to just compare the, the state of a place like the US and a place like Nigeria. When it comes to power, we still have power issues, you know. So I'm just even thinking that some countries where, you know, power is an issue, as in power generation and all that, electric vehicles might not really be widely adopted except they sort out fundamental problems with power generation. But yeah, these are, you know, we're looking at the concepts and what do you call it, things that can be recommended as ways to do what, cut out or cut down the concentration of carbon dioxide in the air. And yes, that's really it. Um, uh, of course, we know that in reality, adopting these things is going to be met by resistance by different parties. But hey, they are good. It's just good for us to know that these are ways that we could use to rid the air of carbon dioxide. So now, one more that I think we should also talk about, which is, I think it's an environment friendly means of doing that, is planting trees. Now, I know you might be thinking in your mind, planting trees. I mean, does that sound like something that would get rid of carbon dioxide? I want you to think about it for a moment. What do you think about it? If we plant more trees, do you think that would help get rid of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere?
If we plant more trees,
Mm, yeah, more trees. What do you think about that? Now, let me tell you. Let me tell
me,
you why. Why? Yes.
me
Okay. Go ahead.
personally, okay, me personally, I think it must, it will, but it won't at the same time
Okay. Why
because
do you think?
because either way, most trees now are either gonna are either being cut down.
Uh
So
huh.
or the fact of the thing is, if we plant those trees, maybe they the trees don't have enough what's it nutrients in them to be able to sustain the amount of carbon dioxide or monoxide in the air.
Okay. So you're saying um even if we plant more trees, right, there are still efforts by humans who cut down trees for different reasons, right?
Mm.
Is that what you're saying? I want to understand your point of view.
Yeah, because most it would basically be like a wind. Uh, I don't know how to explain it. Like it will basically be like planting a tree, but then
Yeah.
losing all at the same time.
Okay. 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 So see what I did now. I've modified
But
that at that point to planting more trees and preventing deforestation or cutting down trees. You know. Yeah. So if we can do that, right? So this is the point, right? We plant more trees. Trees are like other plants. What do they do? You know, if you remember the process of photosynthesis, can you remember how photosynthesis occurs?
photosynthesis is
Yeah.
what a plant needs is. water,
and
sunlight, and what is it? I think it's space.
what?
Um, I think it needs good. Is it? It's so wait. Um,
Okay,
photosynthesis.
water, sunlight, and there's
The
something else.
photosynthesis is like um, what is it?
It's actually carbon dioxide. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so yeah, in the presence of chlorophyll. So that's the whole idea. That was even the reason why I said planting more trees. Because the good thing is this: if you have more trees and those trees suck out the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, right? Don't you think if we have more trees, the more trees we have, the lesser carbon dioxide we'll have in the atmosphere? What do you think?
Um, I'm not
That's a
sure.
possibility, right? That's a
Yeah,
possibility. So we can't really deny that. So that's the good thing about it. If we plant more and prevent, human activity, mass cutting down on, we would also be able to somehow lower the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Okay, so now, of course, I'm not, even though we're talking about this, mainly carbon dioxide I'm talking about. Of course, we know that it's not only carbon dioxide that causes acid rain. There was another gas that you mentioned. What was that?
carbon monoxide.
Carbon monoxide. Okay, so carbon dioxide comes as a result of carbon monoxide combining with more of oxygen. That's what you're calling the complete combustion. But apart from carbon monoxide, there was another gas you mentioned.
Was it sulfur?
Yes, sulfur dioxide itself too. Once, once, what do you call it? Once rain somehow mixes or combines with it in that process of rainfall, even in the air, it loosely forms acid rain and can also be harmful. So these ones, I think these ones are more targeted towards cutting down um, carbon dioxide from the air. But yeah, I'm sure there will be some other means for us to work on cutting down sulfur sulfur dioxide from the air. Okay. So have you guys discussed the solutions, any of these solutions in school?
No, I don't think we have. I
No,
don't think we have.
apart from neutralization, right, by heat.
Yeah, utilization. Yeah.
That's fine. I guess probably because you will probably uh, are going to discuss it in the next class. I'm hoping, or I guess you guys will discuss it in the next class, so we can build on that concept there. Okay.
I
So
think I'm not sure because like it's like a different because I'm learning about it's like a mix of flames and then we're learning about this at the same time. So I'm not sure, but I think
oh,
maybe we'll do this next lesson.
okay. Are you saying that you guys may likely move to another topic?
No, I don't think we could do because we're doing this and we're doing this and burning fuels as one whole unit.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. That's fine. No problem. Whatever it is, if you guys don't continue it in the next class, it's fine. I think these ideas that we've been able to capture here will at least give you a good grasp of what's going on, especially when it comes to the atmosphere. Now, did you guys talk about one more concept called global warming? Did you guys talk about
Um, uh,
it?
let's see.
But do you know about global warming?
Pardon?
Global warming. Let me type. Don't worry. Let me type it on the screen so you can see it. So yeah, that's a concept too that's related to this guy, global warming. Okay, that's the idea. Have you seen it?
Mm.
Okay. So don't worry. I just wanted that's why I said let me ask if you guys talked about it, but it's fine. So of course, um, but let me maybe I should just leave it if you guys haven't discussed it. But it's connected somehow connected to what do you call it to what we're talking about, even though not really deeply connected per se. Um, it's a way of it's a way that scientists have said uh, kind of explains why the weather we have today is somehow distorted. Okay, so the times you
Mm-hmm.
are expecting winter, you're expecting snow to fall. Sometimes summer stays longer or spring stays longer, you know, than it's supposed to stay. Or at the time of the year when you are not expecting rainfall, you start getting rainfall. So somehow the weather is, in just putting it in plain terms, I'm not saying it's totally messed up, but somehow it's kind of not so predictable anymore, you know, like before. And, you know, global warming is one of the reasons why people, that has been, uh, you know, uh, that has been used to kind of explain it, saying that, um, you know, several human activities have led to, uh, some things being compounded. The ozone layer, something about the ozone layer getting um, eaten up, yearly, all by human activity. And all that will lead to more, harmful radiation from the sun, which will lead to higher precipitation levels, more rainfall, and all that is affecting the balance of the earth. But it's not really. Maybe we should not go into it. But if you want to do a study on it, um, you could just research it. So I don't want us to really go deep into it if you guys are not talking about it, and it's probably a topic you guys will cover either in a later class or probably later in the year. Not sure,
Mm-hmm.
but anyways, just know about global warming. You know. All right. So, another thing you mentioned was while you were explaining, um, one of the topics you mentioned was uh, a balanced diet. Okay. So, what concept of a balanced diet? We have different groups of food. Let me see if I can list them out. So I'm going to list them out. If there's anyone I left out, let me know. I'll start with carbohydrate. Right. All right. Followed by protein. Followed by fat and oil. Okay. Vitamin and mineral. Okay. Is there any other one you want to add to this?
Uh, nah, I don't. Nah, I don't think there's another one.
Okay, this is pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. All right. So, what would you say is a balanced diet?
I'll say a balanced diet is when you don't just eat one thing, but you eat a whole. you eat a wide variety of different
Mm-hmm.
vitamins and minerals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let me see what. Let me see how I wrote it down real quick. Let me see something. Mm,
Okay. So the important thing about the balanced diet is that you have variety, right? Uh,
mm,
Possibly, um, you could have a protein. You could have something that would represent, that would give vitamins like fruits and stuff like that. Anytime you're having a meal, right?
mm,
Okay, okay, all right. So, so in because we need to also talk about it in today's fast-paced world, right? Um, do you think most people really think about the content of what they eat?
no, I don't think they do because
Mm,
the thing is, a lot of the population of
mm,
not only like the countries but of the world is a high
mm.
percentage of people who are facing obesity
Yeah.
uh, due to eating too many food with fat and
Mm-hmm.
oils and too many sugary drinks. And
Mm-hmm.
the country is trying to stop like this curb by
Okay.
advertising um what's it such stuff as like sugary drinks on TV
Okay. Okay.
during the day.
Okay. You think that will help?
No, I don't think it'll help because realistically, once like especially like because a lot of these foods are addictive. So
Yes.
like
Yes.
even if because like especially if they've tried it before, even though
Mm-hmm.
you're not advertising it and telling them it's not a good thing.
True.
Like
True.
they're always gonna want to go back to it because they just
Yes.
wanna
Yes.
because it's like it's addicting. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like a type of thing where there's people who like it's like people who smoke.
Yes.
They're addicted to smoking
Yes.
due to the
Yes.
nicotine. But
Yes.
then people who are facing obesity are addicted to these different fats and oils and sugary drinks due to
Mm-hmm.
the sugary um containment in it.
Yes. Yes. That's true. That's true. So now I wanted to just take you up on what you said, right? Advertising during the day, and now you just have to bring it down to the fact that it's addictive, and once someone starts taking it, it's hard to stop. But there's also another aspect to it, right? So let's even pretend those things never get advertised. The fact that you know let's just imagine either people are commuting to work, or commuting back home, coming back from school and stuff like that. Somehow th- those things will pop out and somehow show up, some random ways. Somehow an eatery would be on the side of the road, or even probably in the bus they are in. There's some kind of poster somewhere that's probably talking about, a deal they could get at a fast food store, stuff like that.
Mm,
So it's going to be a really tough one if we're going to say, okay, we're banning all forms of advertisements and all that. A lot of people are going to kick against it, I can assure you. But yeah, that would help in a way. Um, but I think eventually, what would really help is a way it's for us to find a way to kind of educate people, right?
mm,
On, yeah, to know that, okay, there's a direct linkage. or there's a direct link between what they eat and their health. There's a direct link, and the fact that fast foods are just what they are. The body doesn't know how to handle them and cannot process them. So when they take a lot of that, and I guess it's not even really saying okay they should stop all at once, because some people will find that like an impossibility. Like, are you telling me to stop eating fast foods? No pizza, no hamburgers, stuff like that. You just stop it all at once. But is it really possible? For them, they might not be able to stop it all at once. But guess what? They can, like, cut down their intake, right? They could,
Mm,
like, yeah, cut it down. Uh, and then there's something else someone was talking about quite recently. Let me see if I can remember it. And the person said something like this, right? So there are different ways you could find alternatives to those fast foods that have the same taste, right? The same taste as the fast food, but they are healthier alternatives. So that way, the person might be thinking, to the person's taste buds, right? Person is thinking, oh, I'm still eating stuff that tastes like, the fast food I really like. But because it's a healthier alternative, it's not going to hurt them, or it's going to be like helpful to them in the long run. Have you heard stuff like that before?
yeah.
You have, okay. Okay, but then you might just want to check it out more, see that it's actually a thriving business now. Making, like, finding a healthier alternative that's more like what you talked about, the balanced diet, right? But this time, those healthier alternatives taste like the fast food. So when one is eating them, in your brain is telling your brain, oh, you are eating fast food. But in reality, you are eating something that's healthier. I think it's a good thing. It's something
Mm,
it's something that's good for us. Okay, so let's now talk about still on balanced diet, right? So if we have a diet that's too heavy on carbohydrates, what can happen?
mm, pardon? Um,
If you have a diet that's too heavy on carbohydrates, what can happen? That it's not
um,
balanced.
so,
You get it now. So it's heavy on carbohydrates. What happens?
so if it's heavy on carbohydrates, it provides, it's sugary, so it provides energy for the
Yeah,
body, but like at the same time, too much is
yeah.
too bad. So taking in too much carbohydrates could,
Mm.
how do I explain it? It could make you, like a sugar rush.
Okay,
Um, you see,
okay.
yeah, like a sugar
Mm,
rush is when, say for example, it's like your 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 brain makes you feel, oh, I'm very energized. I can do
mm,
anything that I
okay,
feel like. And then after some while,
yeah.
what's it called? You start to go on like a sugar crash. So it's like when like
Mm,
that feeling of
okay,
being so active and energetic just starts to
yeah,
fade away. Like and you start becoming all
yeah,
lousy and stuff like that.
yeah,
And then you
yeah.
think that, oh, I'm feeling a bit lousy. Maybe I need some more carbohydrate. And then once you keep repeating the cycle, like the cycle over and over again, the more
Mm-hmm,
lousiness you're gonna feel every single
mm,
time.
that's true. That's true. That's true. Okay, okay. So um okay. So each of these have their place, and that's why a balanced diet is really helpful. Were you giving examples of what might constitute a balanced diet?
Pardon?
were you giving examples of what might make up, you know, a balanced diet and examples of that?
Yes. So, for
Okay.
example, um,
Mm.
what's it? You need to space out
Mm.
what type of minerals and nutrients you eat. So, say for
Yeah.
example, you eat what? You eat fats and oils
Okay.
twice, once or twice every month. That's that's a good thing. But like eating it, let's say you eat it what half of the days of a month. So 15,
Yeah.
so say the month of out 30 days, eat it 15 times. That's not a good thing because that's not a spaced out diet. That's not a spaced out,
Oh,
that's not a balanced diet. You need to eat
okay.
a different wide variety of things. So, for example, if you had McDonald's yesterday, then you should try eating chicken and rice today. If you get what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And chicken would go for proteins and while rice would pass for carbohydrates. Okay.
Yeah.
That, that's good. That makes sense. Okay. All right. So let's talk about vitamins and minerals, right? Um, did you guys talk about vitamins and what they do
Yes.
for the
Yeah.
body?
We talked about them.
Okay. So vitamin.
What we talked about like what the deficiency diseases you can have when you lack
Oh yes.
different
Okay.
different kinds of vitamins.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what vitamin A? What what would a deficiency of vitamin A lead to?
Let me quickly check
Okay.
my book. Let me quickly check.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
'Cause I remember writing it down. What
Okay.
nutrition?
I know vitamin A is good for the eye. So the deficiency of it would lead to, I believe, eye issues or eye problems. But yeah, let's see what you have to say.
Mm. Oh, I can't find the vitamin A one.
Can't find it.
Mm, no, I can only find. I can. I
Okay,
do.
good.
Lack of vitamin A can cause night blindness.
Oh, night blindness. Okay, okay. All right. Deficiency. So it makes sense. Like, uh, leads to night blindness. Okay. All right. Okay. How about vitamin B? And vitamin B has different,
Okay,
what do
so
you call it?
okay. So vitamin D is
Okay, vitamin C. Okay.
a lack of vitamin D can
Yes,
cause
vitamin C.
rickets.
Rickets, you said.
Yeah, rickets. Like when your legs are bowed.
Is that not for D?
Wait, did you say vitamin B? Oh, sorry, I thought you said vitamin
I
D.
said, can you see what I'm typing?
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. A lack of vitamin
talk about.
D can be kwashiko.
Okay, for B, right?
Yeah, kwashiko.
Yes. Okay. Uh, that's a deficiency. Okay, but what
Yeah.
what what does vitamin B do for the body? Just like we know that vitamin A is good for the eyes. What does vitamin B do for the body so that we can see?
Um, it supports the body's energy production and the
Oh,
creation
yeah.
of red blood cells.
Okay. Support body energy production. You said, did you say energy production?
Yeah, so like, yeah,
Okay.
energy production.
Okay. So it makes sense. Actually, so there's somehow somewhat of a connection between vitamin D and carbohydrates in a way then, because um, carbohydrates also help with energy. Okay, that's a good one. All right. So let's go to vitamin.
Oh, so
Yes.
something that can be caused by a lack of vitamin C is
Yeah.
scurvy. Is scurvy.
Scurvy. Okay. So that's a deficiency of vitamin C. Deficiency leads to scurvy. Okay. All right. So what does vitamin C do for the body?
Vitamin C is like it supports like tissue growth and body repair. Body repair.
What did you say? It supports what?
Tissue growth.
I didn't get that. Do you want
Oh wait,
to
tissue tissue growth and repair.
repair? I only heard repair. I didn't get that first one.
Um, it's what I mean by like tissue growth, like um what's it? Collagen production.
Oh, collagen. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
because it supports it. Because like tissue growth, it supports um structure to skin. It helps support
Okay.
structure to skin.
Okay. Okay. So scurvy, right? Scurvy shows up um as mouth in the mouth, I think. I'm trying
Yeah.
to remember now. Yeah, its symptoms show up in the mouth. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go to vitamin D. Okay, so we know vitamin D is good for bone formation, right?
Mm, yeah. So rickets can cause rickets.
Okay. So what would the deficiency in it cause?
Um, rickets.
Because yes, that's like both legs, yeah, deficiency would lead to weakness. Okay? Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. So do you remember the primary way we could get vitamin D? Well, apart
Pardon?
from maybe the primary way we could get vitamin D,
Um, is it sunlight?
sunlight, yes, yes. Sunlight, early morning sunlight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there any other vitamin you want us to talk about in terms of the ones we have
No,
just mentioned now.
there's none other that we've done so far, so I think it's fine.
Okay, which one is that?
I said um there's no other vitamin we've done. I think there's
Okay,
no
so
other
far.
minerals or
Okay, 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 all right. Okay, okay, no problem. Okay, I guess probably they don't want to give you guys too many for now, but it's fine. I think this one's are okay. Just goes further to emphasize the fact that vitamins and minerals are actually good for the body. Okay, so in terms of minerals, you guys were you guys introduced to any of the minerals that are helpful for the body?
something. Yeah, fine. No, yeah.
Were you? Okay, so let me give you an example of minerals. Like think of minerals like metals that we know, iron,
We've done
calcium,
mineral salt,
yeah,
iron, calcium, yeah.
yeah, stuff like that. So were you guys did you guys discuss the importance of minerals in the body?
Pardon?
Did you guys discuss the importance, the functions of minerals in the body?
No, 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 no. I
Okay,
don't think
okay, that's
so.
it's okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. At least the two that which I just mentioned, um, iron and calcium. We could just talk about those ones. Then, if your teacher wants to give you guys more, then maybe we would discuss those ones too. For calcium, you know, calcium is a very important part of your bones, right?
Yeah. Calcium helps the brain
Yeah.
stay strong
Yeah.
and grow.
So it's very important in your bones. So it's helpful for the bones. For iron, iron is very helpful for blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, the blood tissue in the human body has a lot of iron in it. So if you take iron supplement, it helps to kind of boost blood production for the body. Okay, so it's very helpful for the blood. But yeah, so like I said, let's not maybe we should just uh, leave the discussion of minerals, but I just felt we should just talk about those two, since they readily came to mind. Okay, so so all this led we started off this second part of our discussion on the
Yeah.
balanced diet. Okay,
Wait,
so
yeah, can I quickly go to the toilet? I need to the toilet.
okay, sure.
Yeah. Cause I need to, I'll be like,
Okay,
uh,
all right. Uh,
yeah. The children, like we discussed
okay.
the children's, um,
Uh,
how the children is developing in that subject.
oh, okay. That's good. Okay, that's a good one. I like the concept. It's a good concept.
Yeah.
Okay, well done. I guess you did a good job. Yeah. All right then. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll meet on Monday. If
Yeah.
anything, just let me know so we could reschedule or something. We- I believe we should be able to meet up for Monday. So yeah, just like today.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye.
All right. Enjoy your weekend.
You too. See you soon.